grocery hauls and meal preps, kind of alternating. Today I'm doing both. I'm here to tell you I've lost 70 pounds and I eat pasta on a regular basis.
So as you guys can see, I have a lot left in my meat drawer yet.
Here are my ideas for our meal plan this week.
Cake stuff, mac and cheese and house stuff.
At the same time, feels so right, then I'm wrong, hoping I'll be fine.
Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I have a really fun video for you all. I know on Fridays I normally like to post grocery hauls and meal preps, kind of alternating. Today I'm doing both. So buckle in, it's gonna be a bit of a lengthy one. There's actually a twist on today's video. I feel like I have been to the grocery store about 1 million times in the last couple weeks. I had family visiting, my daughter's birthday happened, my husband's birthday happened, and I feel like every time I go to the grocery store, I don't know about you guys, but if I'm running in for like 1 or 2 things, somehow I always come out with like $50 worth of groceries. So we still have a lot in our house. I am starting today with my pantry, fridge, and freezer, doing a quick inventory. Every couple months, I like to do a deep inventory, and I'm gonna share that with you guys coming up. I think in April is like, I'm due for it. But today I just did a quick inventory to start out the month of March, and I took a peek, pulled everything out to my counter that I had in the fridge that I knew I needed to use up like ASAP in order to not waste it. And then knowing what I had, I was able to make my meal plan list based off of what items I needed to use up. And I also brainstormed some meal preps for the week that were super simple and quick. I've had a lot of friends mention that they would love to try meal prepping because they know it would be a great way to keep themselves fed with healthy meal options throughout the week, but they just don't have the time. Well, I feel you. Some days I feel like that. Sometimes I can't take an entire day on the weekend to meal prep for the entire week. But I do have a couple tips and tricks and what I do at the beginning of the week as things get started in order to prep some additional meals for the rest of the week. So I actually filmed yesterday doing my inventory, pulling stuff out and coming up with my meal plan. And I also did a quick run to Aldi. You guys take a look back at my inventory, meal planning, and grocery haul. And when you come back, we'll be ready to meal prep. I did one yesterday and I'm actually gonna have my lunch real quick before we jump into some baking and other meal prep for the day. But look at how good this looks. Oh, yes. And it's made out of leftovers. I'm gonna have some delicious lunch and I will share this recipe and more with you guys when you come back.
So as you guys can see, I have a lot left in my meat drawer yet for the month because I did those huge grocery shops last week. I still have a whole package of fresh ground turkey. I have some sweet apple chicken sausages. I have a ton of frozen chicken breasts. I just buy the really large packages that usually come with around 7 breasts in them. And then I package them into 1 or 2 pound packages. So that way they're separated. Otherwise they get stuck together and you can't use them for different meals. So this package would probably go in the, this is pretty large. It'll probably go in the crock pot to make shredded chicken for the week. And then I'll use it in 2 or 3 different meals or lunch meal preps. So I have a few different packages of that yet. Again, this was from a bigger package that I broke down into 2 portions. It was a over 2 pound package of ground beef, so I just split it into 2 and froze them this way. So I have one of those left. We also, in our other meal prep, I showed you guys how we did the shredded pork on the smoker. So I have 2 more packages of that, and they're each about 1 pound to 1.5 pounds. So that'll make a number of meals. And I have some bacon in there. So I have tons of meat, and none of it's gonna go bad because it's in my freezer and it's all pretty recent. Like I don't have anything, I try and like rotate through. I know I should be, I have in the past and I need to start doing it again, put the date on the bags that I store them. To be honest, we go through it fast enough since I only do big shops like once, oh, I'm off the track here. I only do big shops once or twice a month. Usually I go through all of this before I buy meat again next month. So that's my meat drawer. That's what we're working with. I also went ahead and inventoried everything else I got. This is kind of my prepared foods shelf. I have some Trader Joe's like ready-made things that I could make for easy dinners, like cauliflower gnocchi, our favorite mandarin orange chicken and veggie rice. I have some of the steamable bags of rice. Let's see, we have chicken nuggets for Lila, that kind of stuff. This shelf is all of my frozen fruit and vegetables. Again, and I know a lot more plastic bags, but I like to go through my fridge like I'm doing now. Even if it's a quick one at the end of the week, I pull out any veggies that I'm not gonna be able to use before they start going bad, and I prep them in a way. Like this was zucchini, and I went ahead and shaved it into my own little zoodles, and I packaged it for the freezer like that, and then they won't go bad and I won't waste them. There is just some extra tortillas and like potato products basically, so frozen french fries or tater tots that we can put in the air fryer. And yeah, I got like ice cubes, random stuff, booze, some tequila up there. Yeah, and then, oh, I love these, my acai packets. I need to remember to pull these out. They're individually packaged, so I just need to pull one out at a time. I let it thaw a bit, and then you can either put them in the blender with a banana and make a smoothie out of them, or you can do acai like smoothie bowls and build them up with like nuts and coconut or other pieces of fruit and stuff. Maybe I'll share one of those. I'll probably share one of those as a breakfast idea on my channel coming up soon. Yeah, oh yeah, and I have some more fruit that just didn't fit. This is all fruit. Some hot dog buns that oh, that's right. There's hot dogs in there somewhere. I know there is, they go together. And then shrimp, which I kind of keep these to the side. My husband's allergic to shellfish, so not that, I mean, they're all packaged, nothing's gonna happen. But I do buy this on occasion for when he has late nights or crazy work schedules some weeks. That way I like treat myself to a shrimp meal, and I know I can get everything cleaned up and it's not gonna like interfere with him. So that's a little quick tour of my freezer. I went ahead and just before I showed you guys, wrote everything down on my inventory list. I also pulled through my fridge, and what I do now is I pull everything out on the counter that I need to use in like the immediate future because it's on its way out. So the veggies are actually pretty good still, but I've had them a while, so I want to make sure I use them before all of a sudden they turn. So I have a package of Brussels sprouts already. I have a whole package of asparagus. I have a little bit of spinach arugula mix left, but this I have to use it pretty quick. We all know the spinach mixes, like it's so hard to get them to last longer. I do need to stick a paper towel inside that will help elongate the life a couple extra days to absorb any extra moisture. Some shredded carrots. These I'm sure I will use together, but I might need to find something. I need to figure out what recipe I'm gonna do to round it out together. So I have some fresh mozzarella, some tomatoes on the vine, but they're just getting a little bit wrinkly. They're still firm, they're not soft yet, but we need to use that up. I think that might be a meal prep for this week. Some shiitake mushrooms. These again, we bought when my sister was here, and I just haven't had a recipe to use them for yet, and I don't want them to go bad. I love mushrooms. My husband likes mushrooms, so it's one of those things that I just needed to pull out and acknowledge and get it on my plan for this week, so we use them before they go bad. This I just pulled out of the baggie because I'm probably going to eat it right now with some toast as avocado toast. So it wasn't just sitting in my fridge like this. I had it in a baggie, but I'm going to eat it right now. That's why I pulled it out. And then I have some leftover rice and some leftover, this is just plain quinoa. So that's what I have pulled out from my refrigerator. These are the items I'm going to start with and kind of start brainstorming ideas for my weekly meal plan. And then I know already now, I have it on my inventory list, what protein I have in the freezer that I can use. Today I'm focusing mostly on meals for the week, and then I'm also getting some ideas for my next meal prep. So here are my ideas for our meal plan this week. Breakfast, we always just kind of have a couple ideas in mind to start the week, and then we'll just decide that morning what we want. Lunch, we're gonna have a couple meal preps as well as leftovers and salads. And then for dinner, here we go. So tonight we have Josh's birthday dinner. Monday, we are going to do some sort of a pasta dish, probably using up some chicken and those mushrooms I pulled out that we need to use up. Tuesday, a Caprese tortellini salad. I have everything I need on hand for that, and it'll use up the tomatoes and mozzarella cheese. Wednesday, we have asparagus at home. We haven't done salmon and asparagus in a while, and that's one of our favorite meals, so I think we're gonna use that. Thursday, we always do a leftover night. Friday is kind of like our at-home takeout night, so I try to think of something fun for Friday night. It's usually our at-home date night, Josh and I. After Lila goes to bed, we have a fun meal together and like watch a movie and stuff. So we're gonna do the Trader Joe's orange chicken and fried rice that I had in the freezer. That's a great easy meal, and it's a little bit fun too. Saturday, we'll do probably like a pickup meal just because we have a busy day this coming Saturday. And then Sunday, we're gonna do a sheet pan meal with the chicken sausages that I had in the freezer.
using up the Brussels sprouts and sweet potatoes I might get at the store. So we'll just put all those on a roasting pan. And there we go. That's the meal plan. So let's head to the grocery store. I'm going to head over to Aldi, and then I have a couple special things I need to grab over at Target. And then when we get back, I'll share the haul with you guys and we'll get our meal prep in order. Okay, I got some Parmesan cheese, as well as some Velveeta slices and shells. You know what that means. I'm making mac and cheese this week. Unfortunately, it's the good kind, the Crockpot mac and cheese that's not necessarily WW friendly, but it is my husband's 30th birthday this week. So he got to pick out his birthday dinner and he wanted Crockpot mac and cheese as well as buffalo chicken dip. So you'll see some items for both of those in the haul as well as his birthday dessert. So the cheese, the shells, I needed more peanut butter. This also will have to do with his dessert. I am making a peanut butter cake with chocolate buttercream frosting and Reese's on top. So that is his request. It is the birthday boy's special wish. So I'm going to make him that cake. We're going to have it that night, and then I'm going to send it to the office so it's not here all week tempting me. And then a couple more staples for the house, some Method anti-bac spray for our counters and the table, more milk to have on hand, and then distilled white vinegar. I have been obsessed with using this for cleaning lately. I use it for our countertops, for the sink, for inside the appliances. I'm going to do the fridge later this week. So anyway, that's the teeny tiny Target haul, and now our Aldi haul. So let's start in the baking corner. I already mentioned that I'm making Josh a birthday cake. This is a scratch cake, so I needed a couple things on hand. So some powdered sugar, confectioner sugar for the frosting, more vanilla extract, some butter. It's so funny. Josh used to tease me because I was that person who always kept at least like 3 or 4 boxes of butter between our fridge and freezer. I just always had it stocked up. Well, we hardly use regular butter anymore between using like the light spreadable butter or the, I can't believe it's not butter spray. We just don't use it day to day in cooking. I usually omit it and have other swaps that I've used that you guys have seen before. But anyway, I grabbed some more sweet cream salted butter because I need it for baking this week. So I just grabbed 2. I can put 1 in the freezer. More eggs for the week. And then these sauces were really cool. I wanted to share them with you guys. The tikka masala, which I've heard good things about. Super simple to use. It's like an all-in-one sauce. So I just have to add some chicken maybe to it and then put that with like rice and veggies. This Italian-style marsala simmer sauce. So this was on one of the end caps at Aldi where they bring things that are like temporary or seasonal. Like you never know if they're going to have them again or not. So I thought this would be fun to try. But I got this to do with some rigatoni. And we have chicken. I have some mushrooms I really need to use up here in the next couple days. So I thought that would be a great, fun little family Italian meal, something a little bit different. And we'll probably pair it with like a salad. Lila has been really into turkey wraps. So I got some more turkey breast, some corn tortilla chips for snacks, more hummus. All right, we have sweet potatoes, more bread. This is super simple bread. I love the basic Aldi whole wheat bread. It's only 2 points per slice. It is 3 points for 2 slices. So it makes really good toast or kids' peanut butter jellies or French toast, and it keeps the points low. Some provolone cheese, not low in points, but they're for my daughter's turkey sandwiches. Some more reduced fat feta cheese and some blue cheese crumbles. This is going to be for that buffalo chicken dip I mentioned. My husband actually likes me to make both of those together, the buffalo chicken dip and the Crockpot mac and cheese, because he mixes it together and makes buffalo chicken mac and cheese. And guys, it's amazing. Definitely a splurge meal, but it's delicious. Grab some more non-fat vanilla Greek yogurt to have in the morning with berries, more reduced fat sharp cheddar cheese. I had 1 bag on hand from my inventory list, but I knew that with making the Crockpot mac and cheese, it was gonna totally like wipe us out of it. So I grabbed another bag for the rest of the week. I always stock up on a can of corn and a can of beans. Every time I go to Aldi, they're just like a rotating stock. I also grabbed some canned chicken breast for that buffalo chicken dip. And then I actually need 1 for the mac and cheese and 1 for the buffalo chicken dip. So as you guys can see, a lot of what I ran to the store for, I had so much on hand from my pantry. If it weren't for Josh's birthday and wanting to make him his special meals, I probably could have made what I had on hand other than getting some fruit and milk work for the week. But it's his birthday. It's his 30th birthday. Gotta treat him, right? All right, so more wraps. I've told you guys about these, and I was trying to look for alternatives because they're like 6 points a piece, and I was trying to find something else to use. But now my daughter loves them. And all you moms and toddlers out there know, if you find something that will make your kid eat, she loves this with some turkey and cheese and a little bit of the Bolthouse Ranch dressing on it as a wrap for lunch. And I feel like it's a good hearty meal that fills her up. It's been so hard to get her to eat lately, guys, so we got them. They're now a Lila staple. Grab some green bell peppers, a couple avocados. Avocados at Aldi were insane prices this week. They were 39 cents a piece, so I grabbed 3 of them. A English cucumber, some green onions. We had blueberries that I picked up, some more romaine lettuce for salads, a couple packages of strawberries. We easily go through 2 pounds of strawberries a week, so I picked up those, as well as some grapes. Josh really likes having grapes on hand. I don't think I showed this yet. The Atlantic salmon. It's such a good price at Aldi. $6.55 for this package, which is almost a pound. And it was just like the perfect, it looks like such a nice like center cut. It'll be the perfect 2-portion piece for me and Josh. And I'm going to do this with that Trader Joe's garlic spread. It is delicious, and it has been one of our favorites for a long time, and we haven't had it in a while, so we're pretty excited for that treat. Okay, I think I mentioned eggs. I don't think I mentioned cocoa powder. So again, for Josh's cake, I'm using this with the frosting. He wanted chocolate frosting and vanilla extract. But I think otherwise, let's see, cake stuff, mac and cheese and house stuff, everything stuff. Here is a big fruit prep for you guys. I have 2 pounds of strawberries. I have an entire package, 1 pound of blueberries, and a big old bag of green grapes. Now that our sink is shiny clean and has been sanitized, I'm gonna put my stopper in my sink, start filling it with cold water, and I just go ahead and set a strainer right in there. All right, so now that we're getting there, I'm just going to go ahead and take my vinegar and do a little splasheroo, and we're just swishing that around so it gets into all of the water. So let's start with our blueberries. One-handed is not easy. All right, so I'm just gonna actually put it right in. Everybody in the pool. And now I'm gonna get a second colander and do the same with the strawberries. Go through and really quickly just rinse off the berries. I mean, you don't necessarily need to do this. That small amount of vinegar is not gonna change the taste of your berries. Get over there. Snap. The key is truly just letting these fully dry before moving them over to storage bins. And there you go. That's how I prep my fruit. And we're back. Hope you guys enjoyed seeing how I meal planned and did my grocery haul. Now let's talk about meal prep. I pulled those things out on the counter. I made some plans that I shared with you guys. The first recipe I actually ended up making last night, not for dinner, but while I was making dinner. Last night for dinner, we made a really delicious chicken mushroom marsala pasta dish. It was so good. I'm definitely gonna be sharing that with you guys in one of my new monthly favorites videos that I'm going to be doing, sharing my favorite recipes and grocery items that I have on the Weight Watchers program each month. But while I was making that dish, I needed to make some shredded chicken for it. So I just popped in my crock pot 2 large frozen chicken breasts. I put some chicken broth in there, cooked them down on high for like 3 hours until they were perfectly shreddable. And then I used 1 chicken breast, half of it in the dinner recipe last night. The other chicken breast, shredded it, put it back into the crock pot, added more broth, other canned items and seasonings, and made up a little like Mexican stew dish in the crock pot that was ready to go. Like I already had the crock pot going and the chicken cooked, so everything else just got tossed in and I let it go for another 2 hours. And then I really easily had a large portion of this delicious Mexican quinoa crock pot dish that I kind of just threw together from stuff I had. And it's really good. It's what I'm eating for lunch right now. It's so good, guys. It's almost like doing a chicken tortilla soup, but because I had quinoa to use up, I threw it in because chicken tortilla soup is good, but it is a 0-point dish when I make it, which is amazing. But sometimes you want to like bulk up your lunches a little bit to make sure, like I'm not a big snacker, so I like to have a bulkier lunch if I'm thinking about it to get me through the day. So here's a look back. I'm gonna share with you guys exactly how I made it, and then when you come back, I have one more lunch recipe I'm making with some stuff that I just need to use up from the fridge that you guys saw in the meal plan, as well as Lila has asked to bake with me. So we are going to be baking some muffins to have on hand for the week, as well as some really delicious overnight oats that we're gonna make for breakfast. So here's a look at that recipe, and when you come back, we will finish off our meal prep for the week. I've added one of the shredded chicken breasts right back into the crock pot in the chicken broth. Now I'm just gonna add a can of corn, can of beans drained, and a can of diced tomatoes with green chilies. And like I mentioned earlier, guys, I'm kind of doing double duty right now. I am making some dinner for the fam, and while I was making ingredients, I just made some extra so I could get this meal prep done for the week. So here's that sauteed onion and garlic mixture. I'm just gonna add that right to the pot, stir everything together. Now I need to add some more chicken broth, and I will definitely add the quinoa to this, and then we'll see from there what else I wanna throw in. And there you go. Is it a true leftovers kind of meal prep if you don't run out of something? I have no taco seasoning at home, which I always have at least 2 or 3 packets of. Who knows? We eat tacos a lot in this house. So I'm just pulling from my pantry staples: salt, pepper, paprika, garlic powder, onion powder, chili powder, ground cumin, and hey, why not? Let's throw in some everything but the elote seasoning, because normally I throw in chili lime seasoning and I'm out of that too. So I'm just gonna throw this stuff in until it tastes good. This has been going now for another hour or so. The chicken was already cooked and everything, so it's just kind of simmering to get those flavors in there from my throw it all in kind of taco-ish seasoning. I don't know, tastes good, looks good. Now the last thing I'm gonna do is just throw in this leftover quinoa. This was just made a couple days ago, so it's still good for a while, and so I'm gonna put it in here just to hearty up the dish a bit, because without it, this is a 0-point soup. It's just veggies and chicken and broth and seasoning. So I'm gonna add that in. It'll add a couple points to it, make it a little bit hearty. So as you guys can see, that recipe came together really easily just by finding recipes that have some similar base ingredients like shredded chicken, sauteed onions and garlic. Double it up, and then quickly you can make 2 different recipes, one for now, one for a meal prep throughout the week later. It was during the same amount of time that I was cooking our dinner, so I feel like I got an extra meal prepped and ready to go. So that one is in the fridge, all ready to go. We'll just portion it into smaller containers as we need it and eat it. I have one more lunch recipe we're gonna make now. And the reason I'm saving time is because I'm also making it for our dinner tonight. So this recipe is something I'm starting it now because it's actually a cold pasta salad we're going to be having. This is one of my husband's absolute favorites. It's a Caprese tortellini pesto pasta salad. And I use the Trader Joe's pesto tortellinis in it. And that's how I'm gonna use up those tomatoes and the mozzarella that I pulled out, knowing that I needed to get those used up this week. So we're gonna be having that for dinner, but I know that that's a recipe that will have at least 2 servings per person of us for leftovers throughout the week for lunch. So as you guys can tell, some of these aren't like true recipes I'm following. I'm finding my leftovers and making something work. Getting on a health journey or a weight loss journey or just changing up to a healthier living lifestyle doesn't mean you need to break the bank to do it. Next up, I already have a pot of water on. I'm going to get the tortellini cooked. I'm gonna show you guys the veg prep that goes into it and the dressing I'm making. If I follow any true recipes, like I think the muffins and the overnight oats are both gonna be recipes that I found and pulled from bloggers. Thank goodness there are bloggers out there who can help us figure out some recipes if we don't always have the time to create our own. So I'm gonna link them down below. Please go check out their blogs and the recipes there and give them some love. And yeah, so let's finish this off. I'm already cooking dinner for tonight, so it's gonna be nice to get one more item checked off for the week. That way we're not spending an entire day, multiple hours. Like I spent an hour last night doing dinner, and I'll spend an hour this afternoon doing this lunch dinner as well as probably the breakfast preps. That's 2 hours over 2 different days. Super easy to find that time and do it and have your stuff ready to go. And even though you're not doing an entire day of, organizing and meal prepping and all that, you're now gonna be set with some great healthy options for throughout the week to keep on track. I have the pasta on, it's cooking away. It usually takes about 16, 17 minutes. I'll just stir it on occasion until it gets soft. This tortellini has a pesto filling in it, so it's super flavorful by itself. But I did find on my good friend Pinterest a great Greek yogurt based creamy balsamic dressing. So I think we're gonna try that out this time. I haven't tried it before, so we're just gonna give it a roll. First up, I'm gonna get all the rest of the ingredients together that go in the pasta salad. It's this diced, and then some fresh basil. I'm also gonna throw in some nice red onion, which I already have meal prepped from the other day, and then we'll do the dressing. And that's it. It's super fast. It comes together really quickly. So once the pasta's done, I'm gonna drain it and just let it cool down a bit. So otherwise it'll like cook these items. So I'm gonna let that cool down a bit, throw everything together, and I'll show you guys making the dressing, mixing it all up, and then it's gonna go in the fridge for a couple hours, and then it'll be perfect for dinner time, and then we'll have the leftovers for a lunch meal prep for the rest of the week. If you see a tiny one suddenly pop up and around, she's just playing and taking some quiet time. So let's get this done before that changes. have the pasta cooling in the colander, I'm gonna go ahead and get started on our dressing mix. We're gonna be starting out with a 1/2 cup of plain non-fat Greek yogurt. So that'll be 0 points. Need a spatula. This is like, how often do you guys end up in this position in the kitchen? Like reaching for something. Okay. Got it. Thank goodness for long arms. Then we're gonna go in with a 1/4 cup of balsamic vinegar. So next I'm gonna do the olive oil because I also need to put honey and Dijon in, and they're both like 1 or 2 tablespoons worth. I'm going to do the olive oil first because then it creates a little slick surface on my tablespoon, and the honey will slide right out after I measure it in if I do it second. So let's say I need 2 tablespoons of olive oil. 1. 2. Right, and then a tablespoon of honey. So again, I'll do that next. Our honey will slide right out and not be a okay. Next is a tablespoon of Dijon mustard. Does look good. It kind of looks like, I don't know if you guys have ever tried, we don't go to Whole Foods very often because there's not one anywhere near us. I used to go there more when we lived in the Chicago suburbs, just for like specialty things. They always had beautiful flowers, and I loved their salad bar. I know nowadays that people are like, salad bars, you know, just thinking with like germs, but they had a really delicious creamy balsamic dressing that I just loved. So I'm kind of hoping this is gonna be maybe a little dupe of that. That would make me very excited. And then I would definitely make this, if you were gonna make this in like a double batch quantity, it would be great to use a ball mason jar. And then once you put all the ingredients in, you just put a lid on it and you can shake it up, and it blends together so well and just makes making the dressing like no stir, no fuss, so easy. Like, look at how good this looks. I got a couple little blobs I gotta keep whisking. I should probably be using a whisk instead of a spatula, but hey, you do you. I'm just gonna use a little piece of mozzarella here to taste test with. I mean, how can this go wrong? Yes. That's a yes, guys. That's a win. I'm excited to put this on the pasta salad now. All right, now we just get to throw everything together. Again, I'm just doing a big bowl because we're just not messing with that kind of meal prep today. Hi, Lila. Do you want to see? Here, you want to come help? There's what? There's what in it? There's greenies in it? These are tortellini pasta. Do you want to try one? They're a little warm. Whoa. Good job. What do you think? Do you like those? You do? Get out of my tortellini. Well, Lila likes it. Okay, well, that's all right. Hey, she'll eat it. Yeah, there you go, mom life. Lila just ran away with a bunch of tortellini because she wanted some. But this is nice and cool. Let's get this stuff going before the toddler comes and steals more. A light stir to toss, and then I will mix our dressing over it. I'm here to tell you I've lost 70 pounds and I eat pasta on a regular basis. All right, I'm just gonna drizzle this. I'm gonna do half at a time though. just to make sure I don't overdress it. Nobody wants soggy pasta salad. So I just used half of the dressing that we made, and it was the perfect amount for this. It smells amazing. All right, so this is gonna go in the fridge just for a couple hours and it'll help all those flavors really blend together. And here is one breakfast recipe that I have to share with you guys today. I think I'm gonna make muffins too with Lila, but those we typically eat more like snacks. I make them as mini muffins. So anyway, here is our breakfast. I loved doing the baked oatmeal that we did in the last meal prep video. Everyone in my house loved it. They all thought it was so great. We got a serving of fruit in with it in the morning, and it was actually a pretty low point breakfast for oatmeal. It came in at only 3 points per bar. So likewise, I thought, let's try another oatmeal recipe, but this time it has been so long since I did overnight oats. And I used to really love doing them, especially when I went to an office to work because I had them made in a batch ahead of time. I would just grab a jar out of the fridge and off to work I went. So I have some ball mason jars we're gonna be using, and then I use the ball mason jar reusable lids. It makes using the ball jar so easy. You don't have to mess with like the metal lids or anything. They're all dishwasher safe. So this is my favorite way to do these. I also have my scale because it is Measure It Up March. Every month I like to give myself a little theme, something to focus on and kind of, revive my weight loss journey. So last month in February, I focused a lot on fitness and workouts and like refreshing that part of my journey. This month I am getting back to the food and just trying to be more meticulous with measuring everything out. Obviously, following recipes that I get offline or baking recipes in particular, I'm going to follow the instructions given in the recipes so I don't mess it up too much. So I'm going to be using a scale to measure out things in grams and ounces as much as possible when I can. Some things are called for in this recipe in grams, like the oats, but then they have a cup of milk or tablespoons for like the yogurt and stuff like that. So I'm just gonna follow the recipe on this one. I'm also sharing, if you hadn't noticed yet, all of the WW Blue Plan points as well as calories because I know I have a lot of friends now. Hey guys, I'm so excited how much growth my channel has had. I'm so happy so many of you are enjoying following along my weight loss journey as well as finding some great healthy recipes to follow. But not everyone who follows here is on the WW plan. If you're interested in checking out WW, I do have a referral code down below in my description. If you're interested in checking it out, please use the link and you'll be able to find out all about the program. For those of you who are doing your own thing on your health journey, that's fine. It doesn't matter how we get there as long as we make steps towards getting towards our goals. I'm also going to start listing out calories in my recipes because I think that will just help with the broad spectrum of things for people to get the best idea. They don't necessarily know what Blue Plan points equal to in the world of how they're tracking their food, but calories are a pretty universal benchmarker. So I'm going to be including calories from now on as well as WW Blue Plan points when I do recipes and grocery hauls, so I hope that's helpful. Today we are doing a cinnamon raisin overnight oatmeal. I definitely hope it ends up tasting just like cinnamon raisin cookies. Warm, soft, chewy cinnamon raisin cookies are one of my absolute favorite treats. So I love trying to recreate that flavor profile in healthier breakfast versions or in, like the energy bites I've made before. We'll try some of those on the channel in the future. So all you need for this recipe, it's super simple. We have some rolled oats, we have unsweetened vanilla almond milk, I have plain non-fat Greek yogurt, raisins, cinnamon, and the recipe doesn't call for it, but I always put a pinch of salt into any of my sweet oatmeals because I think it brings out the flavors of the sweetness. It helps to bring out the cinnamon and raisins. It's not gonna be an overly salty sweet thing. You won't even notice it's there, but it does help amplify the sweetness by adding a touch of salt. Okay, so let's get started making our oatmeal. So it says to start with 100 grams of oats. So I have my food scale here. I am gonna have it zeroed out and set to grams. So zero it out with your dish on top, so that way you're not accounting for any extra grams for your dish. And it says I need 100 grams for one recipe, so let's see how much I'm gonna have to do.
I don't wanna stay here, no. Ain't gonna keep it low.
I need a bigger bowl.
Let's go. Let's wrap it up and hit the road. I just got an awesome vibe. Striking the winner post now. Liberty's on my mind. We've taken our way left and right.
Okay, so I'm gonna take my 100 grams of oats.
You gotta understand.
One of my mason jars.
We get one chance, one chance. You will never regret the things that we'll do.
Okay, I know you guys saw me struggling. Why did no one mention just doing this? Why was I using that? Just fill them right in there. And then we'll just pour directly in.
Sleeping in the back of a van, roaming in the wilderness. We don't ever need a plan. We'll be alright, just you and I. Singing from the top of our lungs, dancing by the lakeside. Gonna do it while we're young. In a moment it will all be gone. You gotta understand that we get one chance, one chance. You will never regret the things that we'll do.
That just happened. Definitely need to buy myself an apron. I keep saying that. Just am constantly have food everywhere. So I'm just gonna go ahead and take a tea towel and like put it over the lid just to make sure I'm not getting any splash out. Shake, 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 shake. Oh, it came out good. Look, you guys see? All mixed in there. It's wet all the way down to the bottom. All the oats got the liquid. Easy peasy, and now I don't have any bowls to wash. That's what a mom likes to hear. So I think that since these are going to be a double serving, instead of 4, I'm gonna make 3. That way my husband can take one to work and eat it for 2 days, and then there will be 2 here for Lila and I to split for 2 days each.
Okay guys, here's everything we're gonna need for our muffins. We need some flour, applesauce we're using instead of mashed banana because I'm out. So this is again the week that we're making things work. So we need flour, applesauce, baking cocoa, cinnamon, maple syrup, baking soda, some oil of your choice. We're using avocado oil today, vanilla and salt, and 1 egg. I'm gonna go ahead and I will link the recipe that I'm basing this off of down below. Yes, that's a hand, you see. Lila, are you gonna help me bake? Okay. She's being a little nutsy today, guys, so I'm gonna show you the ingredients and I'm gonna link the recipe that I'm basing this off of down in the description below. But I'll show you guys our muffins when they're done. Lila, what kind of muffins are we making? Can you tell our friends?
Chocolate!
Again, instead of bananas, we're using applesauce, which I believe you can substitute a half cup of unsweetened applesauce for 1 mashed banana, up to a single cup. So we're gonna be a little bit shy. I think the recipe calls for 3 bananas and you can only use up to a cup of applesauce or it'll get kind of soupy. So, all right guys, let's hope this one works out. And how could I forget? They're double chocolate chip muffins. You have to add chocolate chips. Once again, using what we have, white chocolate chips. Look at how cute they came out. I'm telling you guys, silicone mini muffin pan for the win. Seriously, so perfect and easy. They just pop right out, no mess. Love this thing. I'll link it below for you guys.
Okay guys, I hope you enjoyed following along today, seeing some meal prep recipes, especially some that are easy and like tips on how to throw them together when you just don't have the time to do a big full meal prep. So hopefully that'll help some of you guys out there. And now I have to do all those dishes. It's the worst part, but it saves me from doing dishes throughout the week. So I'll deal with it. Anyway, thanks so much for following along today, and until next time, bye!
I always do